try and kick this thing off. Um,
Yeah.
All right, Elliot, episode 3, Elliot Gray. Welcome, mate.
How are ya? Welcome.
So,
it's good to see a familiar face.
Yeah, so tell us, a lot of people are missing you at the moment. What's the story? Where you got stuck and what's...
Well, no, I'm not. I wouldn't say I was really stuck. So, my girlfriend lives in America, and when this whole thing was going down, I was supposed to be going to America for a friend's wedding, and we're going to a bucks party to Nicaragua.
Yeah.
And we were kind of just like, it was leading up to it, and we're like, shit, I don't even think we're going to even be able to go to Nicaragua, let alone like my mate. I'm like, are you even going to be able to get to America? Because he's like, his fiance was over there because he was getting married in the States. And then I was like, shit, am I even going to be able to get to America?
Yeah.
So I like changed me flights and everything and tried to get on them. I literally got on one of the last flights you could to get out to America before the travel ban all happened.
Yep.
And so I've been over in the States for 2 months now. And I've just been watching everyone score and pumping waves, and I'm like, what?
Yeah. It hasn't been bad. Where are you exactly?
So right now I'm in Seattle.
Right.
But I've been literally, it's 6 hours to the closest wave. Yeah. But I found a river wave the other day, so I'm going to try and find a mal and surf it. So that will be fun.
River wave? Like one of those stationary wave?
Yeah. So it's just like, it's not that big. Like I was thinking that I could hopefully surf it on a short board, but it's not doable. I think there's one in Oregon you can surf on a short board. It's kind of like the one in Munich. So
yeah,
I'll try and get down and surf that.
I've surfed the one in Munich. And that's kind of fun, but it's just not surfing, is it? It's like the water's moving the opposite way to you, and you think you can do one thing and then you're going to fall. It's just so hard.
Yeah. I watched that, the Vans video of the guys on the Zambezi.
Yeah, weird wave.
Surfing underneath the Victoria Falls.
Yeah.
It's got like Harry Bryant and stuff in it, and it looks sick, like for a river wave. And I was getting so excited, and then when I checked this wave, I was just like, oh my goodness, it sucks.
Because you're stuck there till you get back. You can get back into Oz, because that's like.
I can get back into Australia. It's just pretty much going. How long will it be until I can get back to America? Because some people are saying, they're not going to start flying internationally, like to America, until 2021.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the only way Carly can get over to Australia is if we get married. I'm like, it's a bit too soon.
Yeah, you don't have to push the whole green card thing just yet.
Yeah, I know. But I love it. I love the States, and I love like the mountains and stuff. So and I've been fishing heaps. I was illegally fishing because you weren't allowed to fish in Washington, and then they just opened it out the other day. So I kind of feel better now that I can go fishing and get some trout. Been getting some really nice trout, which has been good, and cooking up for people, making Taco Tuesday, and it's kind of my little escape because I love fishing as much as surfing. So.
Yeah, so you realise we weren't able to fish here either, hey?
Yeah, someone told me that, and I was like kind of happy because I was missing all the tuna.
Yeah, that would have killed you.
Yeah, it was. But you guys can surf, so.
We can surf, and we've done all right. Like, there's been nothing big. We've got a couple of like localised wind swell type events where there's stuff on the forecast, and then you wake up in the morning and there's nothing on Sorell. It's all local. Like it happened today again. We had that sort of decent size one. Was it last weekend? And then this morning it was the same, like nothing on Sorell. Went and surfed, but it was just all beaten up and rubbish. And all I did today was get 2 wetsuits wet. That's all I really achieved in doing. Didn't get many waves. So have you done any of these podcast things before?
No, not really.
I'm sure.
I've been watching a few. I've been part of just a couple of Zoom calls and that. So
Yeah, you've done some Zoom calls then with all this going on.
Yeah.
How's the NBN going to survive without you?
Oh, I think it's like because of all this, it's under the pump, and I'm just like, I'm in like two minds because work really wants me back.
Yeah.
But there's another guy, Stevie Townsend. He's kind of under the pump now, and he's like, "Can you come back? Can you come back?" And I'm just like, "Oh shit!" I'm in the biggest kind of headspace of what I should do. So
you can expatriate, or whatever the word is. That the word? You can expatriate if you want, and you can get out of there. You can come home on selected
I just
flights.
have to fly. I have to fly to New. I think I just turned the tap on or something. That noise. Can you hear that? Oh, it's gone. I didn't turn it on. I can fly to New Zealand and then from Auckland. That's the easiest flight from New Zealand to Australia. So.
But you can't get back to can't get back to the States because you need to do weddings and you got your girlfriend and stuff.
Yeah, well, if I'm in Australia, I possibly won't be able to fly back for 6 months or 8 months kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's in the worst case scenario. In the best case scenario, they'll probably start flying, I reckon, in 4 or 5 months back to the States.
Is that what you're going to have to hold out for 4 or 5 months to get back?
Well, if I come back, so I'm just trying to work out because I've been here for 2 months and I've got 1 more month on my visa. So
Surely that'll get expedited though. Surely they'll figure that you couldn't get back, so they have to extend your visa automatically.
I think so. Yeah. So it should make it a little bit easier. I'm itching to go surfing so bad.
Oh mate,
the good thing is,
you've been there that long.
I think it's probably the longest time I haven't surfed. So
ever.
Yeah.
Well,
I think so. Yeah. Apart from when I didn't. Yeah.
Let's get to that. Let's get to some juicy stuff. So, born where?
Born and raised Ocean Grove, true local. One of the many true locals.
One of the OG.
There's not many of us. Full OG.
OG.
1987. I didn't start surfing till I was like 12 years old because there was a girl at high school that I was really into, and she surfed, and I was like, oh, I got to start surfing. My brother surfed, so I was like, you have to teach me how to surf. There's this girl, and he was friends with her sister, so I was just like, it was my way in, and then we became best friends, and then I fell in love with her sister because they were like triplets, and and she was like really good surfer, so she would like win state rounds and stuff. And
who are we talking about?
The Riggses. I don't know if you know Phoebe Riggs.
Oh yeah, I've heard of them.
Yeah, so I was really good friends with Charlotte, Phoebe, and Zach growing up. So yeah, Phoebe was sponsored by Roxy, and yeah, she dominated. She won like every state round and all that kind of thing.
And that was your start when you were around 12, did you say?
Yeah. So I kind of, was on the boogie board now and then, kind of when I hit high school, I used to play tennis. Like I was mad at tennis. Like used to play Saturday morning juniors, Saturday afternoon seniors, and then I'd go to Melbourne and play Melbourne pennant and train all week because I think Dad really loved it and he would coach me. Right. And then when I started surfing, I pretty much quit tennis, and because it pretty much takes over your life, especially when you're a grom, it just consumes you. Like, yeah, it's the best thing ever. It's all you want to do is surf.
Was he like, he wasn't like a Devere Dokic sort of type dad coach about tennis?
Nah, when I quit, he started surfing. So it was like perfect.
All aboard.
He just wanted to do whatever I wanted to do. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And you must have been like hell for leather once you got the chance to. So you got the bug early then? You got the bug straight away?
Oh, straight away. And I was addicted.
Yeah.
Literally. It was like, I remember coming back in high school, come back from like the summer holidays, and my bragging rights were I surfed every single day of the summer holidays without a break. Yeah.
So what did you say, year born? Have you given that up?
87. So I'm 32 now.
Yeah. So You didn't start surfing until like 99-ish, sort of turn of the
2000, I think.
Started it once we partied like it was.
That's when, that's when 99, but 2000 was when I started.
Yeah.
So that's like when a bunch of the Groms were born and that, which is pretty weird.
Yeah, see,
like they probably all started surfing 2002.
That's why, that's what I kind of didn't remember you coming on the scene, because that was around the time I was kind of moving to Queensland, and then came back and like, oh, there's this guy dominating the scene. Who's this guy? So what's anything unique about your upbringing? Apart from tennis, they gave up the tennis stuff. That was cool. Anything else that you consider unique about how that transition happened, or how?
Oh well, because kind of around my age, there wasn't like my specific age. Not a lot of guys really surfed. Like the younger guys surfed and the older guys surfed. So I kind of was just friends with everyone.
Yeah.
So like I was really good friends with like kind of like Baxter, really like we're real good mates now, but he was still like 2 years younger than me. And then Dan Kirk and Merritt and all that, we'd literally ride our bikes to the beach all the time. And because we all pretty much lived super close to each other, and we would all just ride to the beach and, surf every single day kind of thing. And then we'd come back and eat fish and chips at the Boneheads fish and chip shop, or go to Pick and Peck and sit down there, smash Pick and Peck and get all the free food from the guys who work there.
Pick and Peck
kind of thing.
Toasty.
Yeah. It's all changed a lot since then. Yeah.
Wasn't that sort of the only one in town going to get a feed, or the only one in town sort of going to Ruston's surf shop, grabbing your tracky pants? It's all fancy, gear.
Yeah, I know.
And so it's definitely, sea changed things a lot. But you did touch on mates, so I'm going to talk about any of your other mates growing up.
Well, so when I was in high school, because I went to Christian College in Geelong.
Yep.
So not a lot of the guys really surfed that much. Yep. So I was like, my brother's 4 years older than me, so I'd just literally be, he had a car, so he was like, and my cousin Jared Quinn had a car, and I'll just be surfing with them all the time. So that's kind of how I got in touch with the older guys. And it's still the same thing now. Like you see all the younger guys hanging out with the older guys. They can get a lift to the beach any way they can, kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, but the more you surf, the more people got to know you. And I remember, like just a funny story about Goof, like surfing, and I was like 14 years old, and like he literally just drops in on me and just fully just tells me where to go, and I literally just paddle like, you effing Grom, just get the F out of here. I'm like, paddle off back to Beacon, because this is a Golfies on this real nice right-hand bank.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh my goodness. And I started crying, and I'm like paddling back to Beacon going, that guy's prick. And then like, it's funny, like when I turned 18, 19, I started apprenticeship, and I built him a boat. So it's the same boat that he's using now. And now we're like really good mates. And he actually was on the boat when I caught that 110, 20 kilo tuna. So yeah, it's pretty funny how like your relationships change with, different people, and
isn't it?
Like, people you thought were real grumpy are actually really good people.
Yeah, I mean, I had a couple of those. It's funny you talk about Goof, because we all love to joke about Goof. We all love him. God bless him. He's a legend. But he's always good for a funny story. Like just the other day, there was this guy on a hand plane giving him a hard time.
Yeah.
And he even said the words, "Where do you even come from?" And he's like, "I come from Highton, Geelong, 15 minutes away. What's your problem?" And it was just on. Goof's just like, "Oh, here's some entertainment." And those two were just at it for like half an hour in the water. And it was kind of cooking that day. I had I talked to I had another and then I talked the other day about another little mini goose story, and then saw him in the water again this morning, and then he's like, paddled out, and he's like, how is it? And I'm like, it's rubbish. He's like, nah, it's all right. 5 minutes later, he said, I've got no interest in being here whatsoever. But yeah, like I remember, there's a couple of gnarly guys that I considered gnarly when I was sort of starting to kick around. Guys like, I've mentioned Bassett a lot of times, where he seemed to be like a really scary dude.
Yeah, he was scary to me as well.
Scary, yeah. Do you remember? Yeah.
Yeah.
He was just like until you get to know the
biggest
guy,
legend now.
He's just a soft marshmallow.
Yeah,
fully. Not that he'd want all these people to know that, but I mean, people in the club know him. But I remember even Dan Cassidy. Remember Dan Cassidy? He's always looked like a scary, crazy guy. And and when you don't know him, and then you get to know him, and
he's like this gentle giant.
Yeah, I got him his job at the pool, and like we're all really good mates.
Yeah.
But yeah, like still swings around pretty, full 360. Hey.
Yeah. I think just growing up in Ocean Grove and Barnheads was just such a good kind of social culture to be around, I think, as well. Like there was no pressure like in becoming the best thing ever, but like people just wanted to have fun. So yeah, it was a lot different than growing up in Torquay or something.
That's what we're sort of synonymous with, isn't it? Like there's always this, generally our social and party balance is higher than the competitive side. And then we always, over time, have always found this different balance, but it's always been more about not being a peanut.
Yeah, exactly. And kind of just, I think, for me, in a sense, it was like taking the Groms under your wing and kind of just not kind of giving them all this grommet abuse, but just kind of trying to, show them how it really should be as well.
Well, who would be some of those Groms? I know Kyan would be one.
Yeah, Kyan's definitely one. Bronson Field was one. Do you remember? Dick Field and Bronson.
Yeah.
Who? A lot like James Merritt, Dan Kirk. All those Groms like Nick Stevens, Baxter, and all that, Butcher. When they, because we used to do like Christian Surfer stuff, and the Groms used to come and skate the ramp and that all the time, and because Mum and Dad had a skateboard ramp in the backyard, and Mum would just like make a massive feed, and everyone would come over and smash food, go surfing, go skate the ramp, and that was pretty much our summer.
That's priceless, that sort of thing, isn't it? When you can have that environment, and your parents are into it, and you can all just thrive. Yeah. I mean, like you touched on your religious side. Like, let's talk a little bit about how you describe that for you.
For me, like surfing, it's surfing such an important thing to my faith as well. Like, just, I know, being in nature and being around people kind of just makes me feel closest to God, and, like pretty much is the main reason why I believe in what I believe, kind of thing. It's not like all about religion, tradition, rules and regulations. It's more about, like nature and being out there and having a relationship with nature as well.
So would you say your faith is not so much centered around traditional concepts and that sort of thing? It's more an interpretation of you've got yourself, or is it somewhere in between?
It's pretty much me like reading the Bible, and like, so my relationship isn't like with God, and that isn't what I've been told. It's what I've kind of just grown to learn.
So what you've read and you've learned, and how you've adapted it to your life, and how you think things resound with you, and what you take out of that.
Yeah. And I think yeah, the main thing is just to love, and I pretty much try and do my best to love everyone there is in the lineup, and it's kind of just being out there and being able to talk with people and share life with everyone. That's kind of how I see it.
How do you balance?
I don't want to.
How do you balance that when it gets really busy?
Yeah, it's pretty frustrating sometimes, but I think that's where it gets where it's really important just to, kind of. I don't want surfing to be a selfish thing. I want it to be like more of something that I can give back. So, cool. Yeah, I think it's hard. It's definitely hard sometimes when someone burns you at snake shell. But if you just look at it going, whatever, it's just a wave, and then I think it just makes everything a lot better.
You do pretty well though. Like if you're out at Beacon or a couple of the other spots that I know you'd rather not talk about. You pretty much do a pretty good job of getting the best ones. So kudos to that. So what was I going to discuss? So your involvement with the club, how did that kick off?
Yeah, well, I was just young and I was like, thought that I killed it. And I was like, yeah, I'm like 13 and I'm shredding. I've only been surfing for a year. I'm like the best surfer ever because no one surfed around me. And then I was literally like, I think I joined the club when I was like 14, I think. So I joined 13th when I was 14. And my first comp I went in, I was just dropping in on everyone. And I'm just like getting so, I didn't know how to do it. And I was just burning everyone. And I'm just like, yeah, killing it. And then I'm like, I lost my heat. I'm like, what the heck? What went wrong there? And then I started getting fit. My dad started filming me. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, I suck. But I think being filmed and stuff really made me want to get better and improve. And then like I'd be getting dad to film me all the time. And it's amazing how much like when you see yourself surfing, like how much like there wasn't really much coaching or anything around then. But like just being able to see yourself surf, you can adjust your surfing to make it work. And then it can start working better and better and better. And so there was a lot of filming that had to be done. Thanks to dad. Thanks, Jeff.
So results wise, like did you like did the club create your platform to then go on and do state rounds as a junior?
Yeah.
So results wise,
pretty much
with the state stuff and any of your club stuff, what are your better results? What are your better results you've gotten?
The club pretty much pushed me to go and do like state rounds and stuff. Just because I loved surfing and I just wanted to surfing comps as much as I could. And
who?
It was probably more Sim and Mouse around that time.
Yep.
Yeah. So I really looked up to them guys because they ripped, and I was just like, and they were doing like the open state rounds and stuff, and started doing the junior state rounds, and then I did all right, and I just loved doing it. It was just really fun. And then the younger guys started doing it, and then I remember Josh's first comp he ever went into, and like he just killed it, like absolutely killed it. He's like comp surfing was like second to none from when he was like 14 years old or 15 years old. He started like doing comps real late, and he was beating like the state champions in his very first comp kind of thing. Like I think he was surfing against Carl Wright or something, and I was there and I was just like, oh my goodness, I can't believe this is actually happening. Like he's just something to do with his mind and that. And so Josh was like always someone to like, if you bet Josh, it was like epic. And I just remember one state round, it was like my final year. I was in year 12, and it was like the school states, and I bet Josh, and I was so stoked. I'm like, yes, this is it. This is the final comp. I'm done state rounds now.
Does that mean you went to the Aussies representing?
So me and Josh went to Aussies representing the schools for Victoria. Yeah, which was sick. I got to surf with like one of my best mates. So
That would have been epic. Like, did you see the last Aussies last year where I'm not sure it was the first time, but Vic actually took the title overall because they had such a good group of pairs. Like they seemed to, they didn't do that well individually, I think, but they seemed to like really thrive in the teams, schools, particularly the school stuff.
Yeah.
So that was pretty.
I think that's it's pretty epic to see where Surfing Victoria has pretty much come from over the years. But it's funny because like when we did that comp, I think Josh bet Julian at the Aussies, and they changed the format that year. So then only the winner from the Aussies got to go to the Worlds, and then 2, 3, and 4 had to compete against other guys. So like Julian, Wilco, and all that. Wow. So Josh actually pretty much had Julian out, and then he got kicked out and wasn't in the Worlds. Yeah, which sucked. It was like everyone was pretty pissed off about it. That's for sure.
It's almost like with Josh, there's always been massive expectations. Like he has that unique style, but it gets the job done. But not only that, he's just got so much power. And like I remember, I've mentioned this to Groms sometimes. Like I just remember this one day judging. I mean, I've been judging pretty consistently for the last 5 years or so. It was just one day gonna matter, and it was just, just big and messy, and he just had that way of getting a score where no one else could find a score. Like it's just 3s and 4s and 5s, and if you're getting into the good or excellent range of flaring, and he manages to get scores out of single turns. I remember he got like a 9. You're not dishing out 8s and 9s for one turn very often. Just one day, this one turn stuck in my head, and he's capable of doing that. And he won Hell's Bells against all the Torquay crew and everyone else because all the other boys
that was epic
winning that. His fair share of results. There was that interference gate against Todd Rosewell that day at Juck. He's just been so close so many times to certain things, and I suppose you're only ever close enough to just, you can get close enough to getting that a result in the Bells trials, then you're that close to just getting onto that world platform, and then who knows what can happen. I mean, Billy Harrison missed out on the trials last year to Harry Mann by like 0.4.
Yeah, ridiculous.
And like, where was his trajectory then? He's just loves just kicking it, just working at IGA, and it could have been a whole different ballgame if he had made a couple of heats at Bells. So anyway, I was getting off track there, but it's a little subplot to the Jar Jar. So club champs, I'm pretty sure I've seen you on the honour roll. How many of them have you got? Club title?
Yeah. I'm not really sure. I don't keep track, but
couple?
I know there was definitely a couple junior ones, and I think there was like a couple second against like Ben in Open and that. So the boys are too good. They just take me out.
So you don't reckon you've actually gotten a club Open title?
I literally don't know.
I reckon you'd have remembered it. Mouse definitely.
I reckon I would have.
You reckon you might have?
I don't actually. I remember one year I had this huge. I just don't know if it was a junior one, but I had a huge write up, and I think it was like it was a big year. It was like the 30th.
Oh yeah.
Or the 40th anniversary. I think it was the 30th anniversary.
It wasn't the 40th because we just had.
It wasn't the 40th. It was the 30th. It was the 30th. So I don't know how old I was then. So it kind of depends on.
That was 13 years ago.
So I was like 19. So I might have been.
I'll have to refer back to our club.
Yeah, because I remember I had this massive thing and I like pulled it out and I was like my notes of like what I was going to say and I was like so long. But I just don't know if it's just been a smart ass grom when because I knew I won the juniors or something like that, or if it was an actual open A win. I'm not sure.
But they're hard guys to take off. You got the Colliers and Mouse and Josh and everyone else around that era. And then you would have seen. I mean, you would have seen Cam and Lou and everyone else. I'm obviously forgetting some obvious.
Oh yeah.
Types, but
yeah.
Who else? Yeah. All right. So who's? I mean, this question will pop up later. So I'll go on to another one. Your alter ego and your Insta world fame. How many alter egos do you have?
I've got so many. My girlfriend hates it.
Rattle them off. Or do you like play? Do you act them out at late at night when she doesn't appreciate it or something? Or...
Yeah, she just hates the voices that I put on. He's just behind me.
Can you give me a voice? Can you give me a voice for each one of them? Just rattle off.
Yeah, but I can't because she's behind me. She's gonna kill me. So there's Captain Gravy. So he's the fisherman, and he goes a bit cross-eyed. Can I do it for the TV?
You have to. This is what you have to.
Right. So I'm normally like wearing like this really shitty like hat. Kind of, I don't know what you call them, but they got the little flaps. I'll see how we go. G'day guys, Captain Gravy here. How are you going? I'm here to get you fishing.
I like Captain Gravy. He's usually on the boat in the bay somewhere.
Yeah, he's the boat one. Yeah, she hates him, and it's like a 50-50, 50% hate him, 50% love him.
Yeah.
But I have to listen to her because things will probably end if I keep talking like that. I've just got a bunch of stupid ones.
Just rattle them off.
Yeah, like farm boy. They're all in my I don't know. I make stupid videos sometimes and put them up. I want to see if I